All right, this is about as live as we're going to get and about as ready as I'm going to be. I've got a little bit of a nice setup here. Been putting some effort. Look at the desk now goes over here. There's two desks. This was a pain in the ass to build, but we got another desk now. And we got some cameras ready for filming some more content, some vlogs, which will be with the Muscular Mystic page or the Nick Licky page, whichever one. You know, souping up the room a little bit, making it look nice. Time to elevate and progress. But before we elevate and progress, I'd like to take a day to sit back and reflect on how far all of us have come. What's up, Eric? How you doing, brother? Yes, I'm back now. Um, it's times where sometimes I think I'm going to be done, but I'm never going to fucking be done. I'm always going to be here. And look, we even have a cigar from last month when I was going to go live. Probably hard as me in the mornings. Hey, but we're going to smoke it anyway. But we've got a good live today, a quick live. I've been going through some situations where I was manifesting stuff. This is unlike me. It is an area of my life where I've not really had problems in any recent times. Maybe when I was younger, it's something I struggled with, but there is something I've been trying to manifest. Oh, that's the cat. Another manifestation success down there, the cat. So there's something I've been trying to figure out which methods to use, what to, keep my mental diet in check while hitting 2 workouts a day, while getting my diet in check, balancing SP, family, friends. There's a lot of stuff to balance and work on. So I've been MIA for a bit, but there have been a few times where I'll sit down and I pump out some content and then I come back here to the lives. One of the things going forward I'm thinking to do is to go live more times than just Monday. It would be throughout the week in the afternoon times. And a lot of this is hinging on something that I'm manifesting, and there is a time crunch that is related to the thing I'm manifesting. So there might be just a leap of faith that's going to happen for me personally. So with all that said, I thought that we could take some time because I was beating myself up this past couple days. I'm a fucking open book. I'll tell you guys the story. Anyway, there's a situation. Hey, how you doing there, Mama Delia? Current situation, as you know, I know I'm a fucking open book, so I'll tell you what's going on. So, been going through some things at work where there could be a nightmare schedule, worse than you guys know. I didn't like the last schedule. I manifested an opening at a place where there should not. Getting a day shift spot in my type of work is very rare. I got it, and now something I kept saying was, I'm not going to be doing this more than 1 year. I won't be at this place more than 1 year. Repetitive thought, joking or not joking, enough times becomes a fact. So I'm now placed in a situation. How you doing there, buddy? Someone's scratching my ass, and it's not me. But here, you trying to come up here? You can't. I'm trying to tell a story, and this guy's scratching my leg. Anyway, so trying to decide what to do. If I move forward on this particular path, it's going to be a lot harder for me to make content. It's going to be a lot harder for me to make some content and go forward. This guy. And part of me thought this could be a bridge of incidents moving forward, that I'm going to move forward and go full-time into this. In terms of coaching sessions, channel revenue, things like that, I am not at the place where I should be walking away from a day job for it. But part of me thought, it's part of what I teach. Why not take that leap of faith? So that's where I'm at currently. There's the ghost closing the door. So that's where I've been dealing with that situation, figuring out what techniques I'm going to use. And it was more or less choosing because you guys know I like my visualizations and my sat sessions, but I've been ripping some affirmations too. But at the same time, I was just trying to decide, what do I want? Do I want to keep the day job and stay secured and then move forward? Or do I really want to take you guys know, I like to test the law, put it to the test, where maybe I will be full-time into this. So that's where where I've been, what I've been up to, what I've been thinking, while still putting out content, and then spending a lot of time with SP. And we had talked the other day, and she's like, "You need to spend more time on your business and stuff like that." And I said, "Yeah, you're right." So she is going to be helping me with videos in the future. I have a very good friend who started out as a viewer, then a client, then became a friend, and he's editing videos together. As you saw a few of them, he's killing it. It's amazing. Hey, Just Joy, how you doing? He's killing the game. I love what he's doing with the videos. He's incorporating my comedy, my acting, my action stuff, my fitness, all that stuff mixed with manifesting and, kind of helping me create the personal brand to me. So I appreciate him. Love you, brother. Thanks for all the work you're doing. Thank you, Miss Lily, if you're watching right now. I know you're at the gym right now, but thank you for the offer and all the motivation you've been giving me, and to my friends and family and everyone in the Mystic Manifesting family who's been encouraging me, reaching out, checking out me, and stuff like that. That's what I've been doing. But I had a talk with my meal prep guy today too. Shout out to him. If you're in the Chicagoland area, send me an email and I'll get you that guy's information and get your meals prepped for you. It's a lot easier and time saving. But I would like to say that me and him had a conversation talking about leaps of faith, going full-time into a business yourself when you might be afraid, and everything like that. And we talked about, how far we've come. He goes, when you look back and reflect, sometimes you beat yourself up. Maybe I'm not doing enough. This isn't, I'm not working hard enough, whatever. And then you look back, it's like, man, look how far I've really come. And I thought about it. I said, man, I started this channel just to make a couple of videos to inspire people because there was not anyone making videos about the topics. Can you manifest an SP more than once? What about a chest injury? What about health? Like things like that, like my particular injury and stuff with the SP that I went through. I wasn't seeing videos like that. So I just made a few to motivate people, and you guys have kept me around and, kind of given me more of a purpose than I thought that I would be focused on in this. I just always thought it'd be something through fitness, but found a way to bridge all this. So anyway, it says Pete texted me, but if you're here, what's up? Anyway, I want to talk about reflecting. So let me have a cigar. I have a session after this. You guys tell me what's going on with you. It's been a while since I've talked to any of you. If you want to go through any coaching situations right now, we'll go through, drop your situations. I'll do my coaching through it. I'm going to go live, but the lives will probably be on TikTok, or maybe I'll do it on both. But, I want to get this office a little bit more set up and, just find more ways to keep pumping out content. I'm happy to have somebody who's helping me put together the content in a better way than I was doing. Thank you to all of you. I know AMA, if you're here, and I forgot who was the other person. Somebody else was telling me about the audio. You guys always, I've got two guys on here who do audio stuff on the side, and as your day job, and you were giving me advice on audio. We still got to get this microphone hooked up for these videos, but I think there's enough echo in the room right now. But I've got a good microphone now for in the field stuff and things like that. Yeah, so what's up with you guys? I'm manifesting a new job with better pay and a schedule. That's awesome, brother. See, that's roughly what I've done. Every job I've had, I've manifested. And let me light this and I will tell that story. This is probably my first cigar in a month, and it's a stale one too. I'm going to answer the next question in a second, but I'll tell a quick thing about manifesting a job real quick. So pretty much when it came to manifesting jobs for me, I've been very good and very fortunate with it. And I've, something that wasn't hard for me to do. When I first got into the trade, first thing in the trades, you just need to get a job and then work your way up and then do your apprenticeship. And then next thing you know, you're at the journeyman status and then you're good to go, right? So when I first got in, I said, I don't care. I just need any job. And then there was someone I knew, and I just said, I'm going to get a connection through him. And, I received another job before that. I received like 2 or 3 offers in 1 week when I solidified the fact that this guy was going to hook me up with a job. I get the job, and then one guy's like, this place is horrible. This place is horrible. I let him impress my mind, and it turned out to be a very horrible experience. The next job I got, I said, I just want to go to a crew with where I get left alone and I can just do my own work and stuff. I don't care how hard the work was. It was a small group, and I was getting my balls broke all the time over there by, like, not by anybody. It was just ball breaking work. So I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I hate this. But that was a temporary job. All three of us were competing for the one spot. One guy was friends with the boss, and I said, he's going to get the spot. He's going to get the spot. And all this, like, all my job stuff has ever been through affirmations. And then I said, and I just kept saying, while I was interviewing for jobs and looking for jobs, I just kept repeating the points that I wanted. And I just told them to people. I would tell my parents, my brother, my friends, I'm like, the next place I go, I'm going to go to a place. I'm making sure it's a place with a lot of guys. Even if there's a lot of work, I don't care how hard I have to work, and blah, blah, blah. So, like, the next place I went to, there was a lot of guys, a ton of work, but I didn't specify that all those guys would be helping me because I was on my own that whole fucking time. And I wound up quitting that job after 6 months, going back to school. And over time, go back into the trade. When I realized college wasn't for me, my acting career wasn't taking off. And at the time, I knew law of attraction, not really too much law of assumption. The next job I went to was where I learned the law of assumption while working there and being just fucking put through the ringer of doing all kinds of, like, bitch work and shit like that because you're the youngest guy there. I go to that job. I said, I don't care. I just want to learn, because I wasn't learning anything either, really. So I don't care how much work there is. I just want to learn, but a decent amount of guys so we're not overwhelmed. Everybody helps me. And I would just say these things all the time to people. Next thing you know, I've got that job like that, but I didn't specify that their boss wasn't a piece of shit. That's the one where I revised. That was the first specific person I revised, was the boss at that place. He wound up getting in beef with everybody else in the shop, so latched on to me as his friend. And then I said, I'm going to take this guy's job before he leaves. I'm going to take his job, and he's going to leave and go somewhere else. And he had no reason to leave. The motherfucker leaves the job. I move up, got that job. So I predicted I would get that job within 2 years' time. I was 6 months off on it. I was just 2.5 years to get there, or two and 4 months or something like that. August, September, November, October, January. I got it in February, and August was the time. So 6 months, yeah. Can't tell time. And then I said I was going to get a day shift job when I was ready to leave this one. In the trade that is very hard to get, I kept saying it's going to be a day shift. There's going to be a lot of guys. All the work is going to be split up. It's going to be a cool place. There's not going to be much to do. It's going to be laid back. They don't give a fuck what I do. And boom, I manifest that place. When I got there, I said, I will not be here for more than a year, if anything, 2. And I kept saying, by the time of my 1-year anniversary, I kept visualizing and feeling that I'll be out. But I didn't say that Mystic would be taken off. It was kind of trying to imply it, but I didn't feel it. Because in a way, sometimes, I struggled to make money online with comedy, acting, and all these other things. So I thought, even though I've made money through this channel, I didn't think I'd make it. So I would just be affirming. That I wasn't. The main part that stuck out was I won't be there for a year. And I'm kind of in a situation now where I don't think I'll be there much longer. So that's in terms of jobs. Jobs have always just done through affirmations, because it's something you're detached from. You're just describing to people the job you're at, basically. I was just telling people the job I had before I had it. And then I wound up working the exact job that I described. Okay, Adro Peso says, how to consistently stay in the wish fulfilled. Could be very difficult. And what's up, Gary? I see you on there. I was just giving a shout out to my great editor. But we're going to talk about the wish fulfilled, how to stay in it. Okay, so the wish fulfilled is very difficult to stay in at times, especially in terms of SP. I think that's been the hardest to do, because that's the one thing that you're at a constant reminder, because throughout the day, you want to tell SP something. You want to go see them. You have a hard day, you want to be laying in bed with them. It's the hardest thing, I think, in my opinion, that you're going to be manifesting, and you're going to kind of struggle with it. I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying it's more or less a harder area to stay into the wish fulfilled. Where in terms of money, if you're not buying anything at the moment, or you don't need the money at that particular moment, you're not thinking about it until it comes up to buy something. And how often do we usually buy something throughout the day? Maybe your cup of coffee in the morning. Maybe if you got to go grocery shopping and fill up the car, but you're not really spending money every day. Most people aren't. I was when I was blowing through it, and now I've kind of dialed back a little. But staying in the wish fulfilled would be, okay, I don't know what you're trying to manifest, but let's give SP as an example, because everybody always has that as that's always what they want to know about. All right, so we're going to manifest SP, right? And we want to stay in the wish fulfilled. I will stick to my original, like what I always say, because it's always worked for me. Going to sleep with a 3 to 5, maybe 10-second clip in your head of the wish fulfilled. You could change it, vary it, whatever, but going to sleep in that feeling. I always prefer just to be sleeping in bed with her. Then in the morning, I wake up and go through my gratitude list. Bang, 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 bang. All these things that I already know I have, and then SP, and then my brain's like, what? And then keep throwing more stuff down, and then don't look back at the bed. You know SP's in your bed. Throughout the day, you want to talk to SP. You're having inner conversations. You have doubts. You're having a panic attack. You're feeling like garbage. You just go back. If you've already been with SP, you go back to a memory of it. If it's something about money or something else or another type of thing you're manifesting, go back to a time where you've had it and visualize it. If you don't, imagine it and imagine how it would feel if you did have that. Now I know it's easier said than done. I'm just telling you like the generic shit, right? So imagine how it would feel if you had that. This is kind of hard to do, but there were certain times where it's like, for instance, when I won the $1,000 with the slot machine, but it wasn't a slot machine. It came out of the ATM on its own. When I was in that situation, I just kept feeling, how does it feel to have $1,000 in my hand cash? I was feeling what the wad felt like, and my heart was racing. I was like increasing my heart rate. Now, don't go out and give yourself a heart attack, but I was getting into that feeling like I'm like tensed up, excited, eyes are wide. I'm like all geeked out, like, oh shit, I got all this money. But I'm sitting there losing on the slot machines. And then when I relaxed and just said, man, feels nice, please God, like I said a prayer, trusted, and went down to hit the button, boom, the money's right next to me. So that's one thing I'll say there is staying in the wish fulfilled is difficult, but you don't have to constantly be in it. You know how many times I had fallen out for that instance that night when I won the money? In and out of the state of the wish fulfilled all night. SP's journey, in and out. Even after I had SP manifested into my life, why do you think there was another loss? I get so many people, why do you have to manifest her back so many times? You obviously picked the toxic person. No, obviously I have a fucking toxic mind that I can't hold it to my wish fulfilled. So you have to be able to hold your mind to the wish fulfilled. Don't let it hijack you. Don't let it lie to you. So you're the one telling your mind how to think. So I would go through situations like that where I was in a constant battle. It is a war. You are at war with your mind, but you can't be hateful towards it. You have to correct it. It's like a dog that doesn't behave. Me and Ink talked about this. We used to talk about this all the time. Me and Ink would always say it's like a dog off the leash. It's going this way. Nope. Don't do that. And then again, it's like a puppy. It's just going to keep pulling and pulling. No. You got to keep the dog right by if you've ever trained a dog, dog's supposed to be kept right by your knee, not pulling ahead, not falling behind. You're walking at the same pace together. And it could be a motherfucker to train that dog, especially if it's a very hyper breed or whatever, and your mind is the most hyper breed dog there is, and you have to just keep it in check. So living in the end doesn't always mean that. There were times where I would have a day or 2 or 3 where I was just fucking fully depressed and defeated, didn't want to do it, and I would just be relaxed. It's like, if it happens, I really don't care. I'm tired. Be tired, relax, because that's in a way, when you give up, you're not really giving up, you're just trusting and letting go. Is that my car? Yeah, if it keeps going, it's my car. I'm in a blind spot, can't see. AMA, there he is. Manifested in SP. Lost her, slowly regaining her back in. She's texting me good morning every day. She put me in a group chat with her mom. She got me a super thoughtful gift and a lunch for my birthday. I am also working on my self-concept through affirmations and going through therapy for my anxiety. That's awesome. Well, not awesome that the bad shit happened, AMA, but it's awesome that you're working on your self-concept. See, there's the thing. So many people, they're like, well, I would just manifest a new SP if I were you. Like, this is where it goes back. Like, remember when I had SP on here with a thing, and I talked about it before. Everybody was like shitting on her and stuff. Well, she's toxic, she's shitty, this and that. Now, granted, was she a fucking, no, she was a fucking horrible motherfucker at times. And I'll tell her that to her face. I've told her that the other night. I'm like, at times you were a fucking motherfucker to deal with. And in terms of manifesting you back and stuff like that, I'm like, it was shit. But the thing was, no matter the perfect person I would manifest into my world after, remember, I scripted out perfect women before that I wanted, and they would come into my life. But then if I don't feel worthy and my self-concept is fucked up, they're going to act the same way. I've had at least 3 people in the past month that have come to me with new SPs acting the same as old SP, but they started out as a completely different, perfect version that it had nothing to do with that other fucking person, but now all of a sudden they did. What was the one thing that didn't change? What I noticed in the people who did it, they were just like, wow, you know what? This person came in, I'm just going to take it. You just took it, and it's like, okay, cool. If you're happy, you're happy. But if you don't change this and how you see yourself, then you are fucked. Because if you don't see yourself as this high value person, as this person who deserves love, respect, and happiness, then it will be removed from you. You have to feel worthy of it. That's the one thing I can't preach self-concept enough. And it's not just with SP, it's with money, it's with success, it's with all that stuff. Like, I've always had a good money self-concept as I got older. When I was a kid, it was fucked up because of like how I grew up. There wasn't much money around. Like, we're not eating out unless we had the money. You're not getting gifts unless it's the holidays. It's like there were certain relatives who would hook us up, but it's like, in terms of how I grew up, it's like, yeah, you're not getting exactly what you want all the time. You're not spoiled. So when I got older, I was spoiled other people with the money I got and stuff like that. And then as I started losing money, I got very scared. And this is relatively recent. I got very scared, and then more things would come up. I was getting tickets. I never got tickets. I got 3 tickets in like a month. So that was a way to remove money from me. I had right now, I've been stressing about money again. Brakes in the car going. On my way here, I heard it. What's it called? It was a weird situation. I applied for rewards points for the airline, which should have been no problem. They gave me the wrong package, so I had to call and fight with them to get the right package that I signed up for. And it was like, how the fuck does that get messed up? So it's like more and more things to remove money and remove success from my life started coming in when I started doubting how I felt about it. And then I started fearing like, I started reflecting on how lucky I was to have the certain position I have now, but also feeling resentful for a certain person at that job. All of a sudden, that anger and frustration towards that job, and then repeatedly saying I won't be there more than a year. Now I'm in this situation where I'm not going to have it. And I've got a resistance that I can make money other places like this. So that's the manifestation I've been currently working on. So, like I said, my financial self-concept slipped. It was very high at one point. It slipped back down. So now that's my current battle. That's what I'm fighting now. Like I said, your brain is always going to try and hit with logic because it is being conditioned, whether we know it or not, at all times. You hear things and you might not pick it up. Like SP talking to me all the time about, oh, inflation is getting bad. Oh, all this money is gone. And the way I grew up, it was like, oh, yeah, money's hard to come by and stuff like that. So all my conditioning kind of put me in a position where it was like, man, I didn't realize I was being conditioned. And I've been spending time reflecting to figure out where all those negative thoughts came from. So go in there, find out where the negative thoughts are, and find out where your limiting beliefs are and what is destroying your self-concept, and go and fix that. With SP, if they are still talking to you, do you reach out or always wait for them to start the conversation? So, Mama Delia, this is what I will say about that. Let me light the cigar so we have so I could properly address it. In terms of should you address the SP first or not? You're in contact, right? But either you're giving off, it's hard to tell sometimes, because either you're giving off the illusion that there's a problem and there's no problem, or there is a problem and you're trying to manifest around it. Doesn't really matter the situation. It's more about how you feel about it. If you send them a message and you're expecting a response, and if you don't get that response, it's going to crush you and it's going to bring your self-concept down and devalue you more, I would not personally send the message. Now, I can say that I've done that and I thought I fucked things up. But what do I say? We can't fuck this up. You can't, because I would send it anyway. But it's going to draw the journey out. The more you have to go back and fix self-concept, the more you have to go back and do more inner work. You don't want to do that. So what you want to do is, if you feel good and you feel natural, and you could send a message and you don't give a shit if they respond like, hey, this made me think about you, you send it. I've sent stuff to my friends. They don't respond to it all the time. I'm the guy who sends 1 million memes a day to his friends while he's going through the thing, or to his brother. My brother doesn't react or do anything to one fucking meme that I send him, but it doesn't bother me. It's just later on, see him a week later, a day later, whenever I see him again. Hey, did you see that one I sent you? Oh, yeah, that one was pretty good. That's it. So if you want to send SP something like that and just understand, hey, they're going to do it, or you could fill the blank of the conversation in, you'll be fine. But if you feel good, you feel natural, you guys are having natural communication, do that. Otherwise, just go into inner conversation, say what you have to say, hear what you want to hear, and go back and forth in your mind. Work it out, reps in the gym. Just like, your body can't tell the difference. Like there's like the study of the Olympic athletes and stuff. They had some people actually do workouts and training, and they had people run them in their minds. Obviously, the people who did the physical training got further, but the people who did the stuff in their mind they still progressed, but they didn't progress. They progressed slightly less than the people who actually did it, which means the power of the mind was running repetitions too. So that conversation is just as real. Remember, your brain remembers 50% of your past wrong, which is why revision is possible, because the past is creative too. The future is creative. So go in, create wonderful past events with revision. Go and create wonderful future events. Go have inner conversations. Use your imagination. That's the thing. We're looking for things. Where do I start the imagination? Well, is that believable? Just have fun and play with it. Like a kid, we're using imagination all the time as kids. When we get older, it's just like, that's not real. Or like my SP says it best when she goes, I'm a realist. It is what it is. And I tell her this all the time. It's not it is what it is. It is what you make it. And why be a realist if it's just going to make you feel like shit? I usually just wait for her to reach out unless I have something meaningful to say. Good point, AMA. I'm so happy to have people to talk to, and Neville. I'm so happy to have people to talk Neville with. Well, exactly. We try to be Neville purists a little bit. Greetings from England. We are on the pedestal. They are lucky to know us. Get cocky. I am the best. You are the best. I am chosen. You are chosen. Always. Thank you, Lena. Yes, no, that's a good point too. Put yourself on the pedestal. You don't have to be cocky or arrogant. Like I said, confidence and being confident and being cocky are two different things. You could come forward and just be confident in who you are. It's like, if you're either going to respect who I am or you're not, whatever. This is my thing. I am who I am, and that's it. I feel like one limiting belief I have for manifesting a new job is that they ask for a bachelor's degree. Well, see, that's something that bothers me too, because I have no college education at all. I did a semester, and that was it. So I feel very limited that the only job I could get is in the trades or start my own business, which in a way, as P pointed out the other day, she goes, you kind of have a business. I mean, I haven't crushed it exactly, but I haven't really, I'm the one who I turn clients down and stuff most of the time, just because I think that they can figure it out themselves or whatever. So, I always thought I had to start a business or do that, but then, I don't know what other jobs you'd be interested in, but I know like public service, like police and fire, I don't think you really need education for those. I think police, you might need a bachelor's. Fireman, you don't. You have to have a paramedic certificate. There's a whole bunch of other careers. When you start looking around, you expand your mind. You just remove that limitation. I've been talking to people who went to college. They're getting jobs that they don't even need it for. They answer right away, Mama Delia. Well, then it sounds like in that case, like I said, I could answer so much through the live streams and stuff, and I hope that it answers the questions because we can only get so in depth in these parts. But what do you call it? I would say this: it sounds like you might be creating a situation where there is no situation too. I'm not saying it is because I don't know the whole story, but if they're answering right away, things are going good, but you feel like you're hesitant to message them or you don't know what to say. If you're in that situation, you might be creating the situation. I know a few people who are currently doing that as well. Eric, refrain from that belief. Is your reality. You choose how they behave towards you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, I had this thing where I couldn't be a personal trainer. Here's something for Eric right now. I had this thing where I couldn't be a personal trainer. And obviously with, because I don't have my certifications or anything, I have just trained people off my knowledge. And I don't agree with how the books train sometimes. And I guess always since I started working out, I've kind of always, without even really knowing super lot about manifesting, I've been working out before I learned about the law of attraction, I think my second year working out, and then I didn't learn law of assumption until years later. So I was about 17, 18 when I found out about law of attraction. I was 16 working out, but I always knew if you could visualize, because Arnold talked about that, if you visualize a muscle working, it becomes better. And it was like one of the things when you're posing and flexing, it's almost a workout in its own. I would hear that from the older guys in the gym. So there was a heavy degree in my training of weightlifting and working out that was centered always in the mind and mind muscle connection, which is a common gym term, mind muscle connection. Break it down, that's a manifestation thing. So I never really agreed with the training courses. So I never finished the training classes. And when I was taking the classes, the union stuff came through and I wound up doing that. So I was like, I can never get a training job. So one of the bigger gym chains around me, I went in there today. No, I was wearing a polo, and I was wearing my nice long coat and some jeans and dress shoes. Walked in, said, "Hey, I'm here to talk about the gym management position for the trainers." The guy sits me down and for some reason starts talking about personal training and thinks I want to be a personal trainer. And I'm like, I'm not opposed to it either, but then a personal trainer makes about half of what I make now an hour, and it's all commission based. I'm like, can't really afford that at the moment. So I was trying to think, and I'm like, I thought the management position made a lot of money. So I'm like, well, whatever. I guess this guy didn't understand what I was talking about. He goes, hey, by the way, there's a management position, but he goes, the management position required no college education or anything like that. And he goes, you know what? I like your vibe. I like how you are. And then he puts in a call to like the regional manager, gave him my information and stuff. I haven't talked to the guy yet. And, but it was just like, he goes, here, I'm going to give him that. Here's my contact information. You could talk with me. And about 2 weeks, when you find out what's going on with your current job, come back here and I'll get you started as a trainer. If anything, I said, I have no certification, just so you know. He goes, that's fine. We'll get you certified and you could train until then. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, I was always limited by that belief, though, that I needed that certificate to train, even though, I didn't really agree with a lot of it. But now at the point where like, I'll get it, but I'll train my own way. So don't let that limit you. I work in disability research and have no prior research experience. Circumstances don't matter. Exactly. Until they make holy smokes, you're back. Just tuned in. Yes, I'm back and better than ever. So, like I said earlier, I was figuring out what I currently wanted to do, and it's like, you know what? I know I want to make a go with this. I know I really like what I'm doing here. And the way that a friend of mine who's probably in the chat right now put together some amazing videos for me, really made it click that, hey, you might be on the right path. You're making an impact in people's lives. This is something that you should do, something I felt drawn towards, where it's more or less feeling like a destiny more than something I've manifested. Now it's like, okay, just use your abilities to grow this and work on this more. And it was like, I'm working on, I keep talking about the Discord. I've been struggling with it to figure out how to make it like paid, but not too expensive and all that. I always talk about the same thing, but same guy was helping me with the videos is going to help me out with that. So hopefully we can get that up and running soon. And like to redo the merch was so complicated to order. Only a few people had ordered stuff anyway. And I think all the listings expired. So it's like, okay, well, let me go back now and we'll find new merch people and I'll order them and make sure they look good and their quality, they could be washed and everything. And then I'll drop them onto the market. But then it's just like kind of reminded me of like Rich Piana and Greg Plitt, my fitness idols. They were doing that. And it's like, this is a way where I can bridge fitness and spirituality and then like religious thoughts and all that same stuff. I've always been fascinated with spirituality and religion and history and like all this stuff kind of goes like that. I've always loved fitness, but fitness goes with the mind and like it's a full circle. And when you're doing it through online, I love acting, comedy, entertainment, cameras, filming. It's a way that all my passions come together. And I was like, you know what? It was in a weird way, but I wound up manifesting what I wanted years ago through this. So I really appreciate my friend on here who, you started out as a viewer, always here, always dedicated and watching the channel and growing, and your leaps and bounds are amazing. Then one of my best clients bought so many sessions, and then all of a sudden we became friends and you're editing my videos. So I appreciate you, brother. What's up, Mitzi? There you are. They did a study and they had weightlifters not work out for 2 weeks, but only work out in their heads. On average, strength increased 17%. I'll find it and link it. Well, thank you, Mama Delia. Yeah, that might be the one I was thinking about. I thought it was Olympians, but it could be weightlifters too. But yeah, the thing there was like the study was one group doesn't work out at all. One only works out and doesn't think about their workouts. And then the other one just worked out in their head. And there was, there was improvement. And I didn't know the exact number, but that sounds about right, 17%. Divine Fempress. Hey there, Divine Fempress. How you doing? So they manifested a change in strength. Yeah, I've researched that before too, AMA. It's like it's not only them, it was like I'm pretty sure the Olympians did it too. They would focus on whatever drills they would usually do, they would mentally run them. And I know this from when I wrestled and when I played football, you'd have dreams about certain plays or certain things and what you'd be doing. And sometimes you'd wake up sore, like, what the fuck? I just worked out because you're doing it in your head. And like when I was really getting my mind muscle connection and when I was doing a lot more heavier bodybuilding stuff, it was like I'm waking up sore. And when I'm working out in my head, or like just sitting there flexing my muscles, like one of the things is like sometimes you get the involuntary muscles like that. But I would be in high school when I first started lifting weights, so I'd be sitting in class doing this, and like I remember the one teacher, like, and then the one teacher I used to try to flirt with her, she like stopped in the middle, like, what the hell? And I'm like, that's right, I'm into older women. And then it turns out that's how my life turned out later on. But I would flex them like that, and then they started to develop more because I'm like, the more I flex them, the more they do that. Or I'm visualizing a workout while I'm doing it because fuck school. I just want to work out. It's me. Take a guess. My new handle, formerly the real. I knew that was the real oyster because it's. I figured it probably was with because you got the same color logo. Did she reciprocate? I didn't know how to manifest back then, but there was a certain point where I was going to ask her to prom, and you know how it is in high school. You're just learning how everything works down there, and you know it's very fascinating what you're going to do with it. So you got to tell your buddies that if I was in that situation with her, oh my god, and you know, getting very in depth and into the situation about what I would do in that situation. Then we find out like it was all guys school too, so female teacher who was a solid 7 or 8 on a scale of 10 in all guys school. It's going to be crazy because it's like being in prison and then a woman walks in. So we're walking to the hall and then the other guys spread apart, like go off to their classes, and the woman was right in front of us, the teacher, and I'm like, she just heard all that shit. And she didn't give me a detention even though she heard it. So then again, I did see her out in the mall shortly after that when I did turn 18, and she was married at that time. And yeah, nothing happened. Maybe I'll manifest that one. That's hot. Did you watch the South Park episode with Ike and the Greats? No, I never seen that one. The police respond to when Kyle reports it. Night. I can just see that episode. That would be funny. Regular World 7, all boys school, level 12. Exactly. Yeah, no, that's pretty much how it was. It was off the charts there, regular World 7, yeah. I was just seeing I got an email from the condo. I thought it was about this. But anyway, I just thought today was a good solid day to reflect on how far we've all come. Now, if you haven't manifested your particular desire or your SP or something yet, I want you to sit down today, take a break from manifesting SP, take a break from whatever you're doing, sit down and think about where you were this time last year. And I've done this before. I think maybe even last 6 months ago, 8 months ago, we did this. But we should take more of an account of where we are in the moment and say, okay, look how far we've come in this moment from where we were last year. And when you really break that down, you'll see you've come so much farther than you think. When you just take a whole day to break it down, your self-concept is going to have raised. Your fitness level, if you've been working out with all this stuff, it's going to have raised. Your money is going to have raised. Everything but okay, you didn't get the SP, or maybe you didn't get the money, but you got the SP, or maybe you didn't get one of these things or the other. But when you look at how far you've come in a year, it's crazy. And I always talk about I wanted to leave a legacy since I was a kid. It's I want to leave a legacy for people. But when you're so focused on grinding and working on your goals, sometimes you don't live your legacy. You're so focused on leaving a legacy, you don't live it. And the way you live your legacy is when you stop and sit back and look at all the good you've done. So for me, I don't have everything I want to have in life. I'm not going to affirm that I don't, but let's be realistic at the moment. You could observe your realistic world at the moment and say, okay, I don't have everything yet, but I know it's coming to me in divine time. I will and I do always get whatever I desire. So you will have all your desires. You could trust in God and in the universe that you will have everything that you want. You just have to relax and live that legacy now. Take some time back and give yourself credit. Here. It's all dirty. It's been on this floor for like a month. But that's a prototype merch that will be with be in the new merch store when we make it. But I've always wanted to leave a legacy, but to live a legacy is a lot better because you give yourself the credit. You let your self concept feel good. You let yourself feel rewarded and validate yourself for all the work you've made, all the progress you've made. He said that. Oh wait, hold on. I was like, what's hot now? My mom had an all boys school. I was one of 3 girls, and it was fun. I seen more dicks. I can remember. Never did anything with most of them, but I'm an ice. That Gary said that's hot. That's funny. I thought you meant other men. If you meant the bros, I take it back. This is so weird. Just got an advertisement of my SP's name. Now living in my current city. She's supposed to live in a different country. It appears that I have been thinking about this a lot. It shows it's a bird before land. You have to take it as a bird before land. And, if you guys haven't read it yet, I would say read The Game of Life by Florence Scovel Shinn. There's a 2-hour audio book of it on YouTube. And I mean, you spend plenty of time watching all my long rambling videos that are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes. Take 2 hours and listen to that because that even gave me some breakthroughs, especially on her point of view on birds before land. She's like, I had so many people say, well, why do I just get the signs? And she goes, what happened when Columbus was going to America? He saw seaweed and he saw birds. That's how he knew he was close to land. You saw your SP's name in an advertisement and for being local. That is a very specific bird before land because obviously you want SP to live closer to you. It is a bird before land. Now, if you take it that way and you believe it and you start feeling that, okay, she's here now and close, it's just going to unlock everything that you want. And then Florence Scovel Shinn actually showed me a lot more about walking in faith. She would do some more ballsy stuff than I know. Neville did a lot of ballsy stuff, but Florence did like some real ballsy shit where it was like the one girl was worried about going broke, and she's like, go buy it. And she goes, will you come to lunch with me? And her and Florence go to lunch, and she goes, buy a big lunch. And it's like, damn, the lady's fucking broke. But she had the lady fucking buy a lunch, and then the next day she gets $3,000. And that's back in the 1910s or 15s or 20s or 30s or whatever. She did that. Basically, $3,000 was a fuck ton of money back then. So, just realize how far you could fucking go with just that little bit of faith. Like that Bible quote, with a grain of mustard seed, with the faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. All you need is that little bit of faith, trusting that birds before land. My new mailman is my SP's twin. Well, there you go. There's another bird before land. All right, guys, we're going to do about 15 minutes because I am on a time crunch today. Don't manifest the time crunch, but I'm on a little bit of one today because I got a session after this. I'm going to do the session, and then I want to be able to do a couple SAT sessions of my own for the situation I'm going through and put myself in a good position. Like I said, I spent a while trying to figure out what I really want. I know I don't want that line of work, so if I don't get this situation tomorrow and wind up unemployed, I take that as a bird before land or an open door, one door shutting, another one opening, that this is going to take off. Or I hit the lottery, or I fucking pick up a bunch of money, or some rich person wants to be my client and pay me my salary just to be a one-on-one coach or something. I don't know what it's going to be, but whatever it is, I trust that tomorrow is going to turn out in my favor. No matter how ugly things get, tomorrow is going to turn out in my favor. It's going to turn out in your favor. No matter how ugly things get, it always works out in your favor, and you can't fuck this up. It was good to see you too, John. I'm happy you tuned in as well. I'm glad all you guys did. I try to be more consistent with this. like I said, especially, who knows how things pan out, because if they do, I'll be doing more live streams and stuff like that. I want to build up the TikTok audience and stuff, bring more people from TikTok over. It's easier for videos to travel on TikTok. It might be a limiting belief because I had a lot of limiting beliefs on YouTube, and this channel did really good in a year. In my opinion, I'm proud of how far it came. I must admit, I was affirming my flying career gets loads of time off. Plane was diverting and delayed when I was away, so I was in a 5-star hotel for longer. That's awesome. See, that's the little things like that you have to just feel grateful for. Feeling grateful for the little things gives the universe more of a reason to give you even better things. Being grateful for what you have. That's what Florence Scovel Shinn kind of talks about karma. I like her definition of karma better versus like, I punch you, I'm going to get hit by a truck tomorrow or whatever. Like, whatever the normal term of like an eye for an eye karma, not really. But it's like she talked about, somebody offers you money as a gift. So many of us are so humble, have such a low self-concept of ourselves. No, I don't deserve. No, keep the money. So I'd just say thank you. I appreciate it, because she told a story about some lady who was like, no, thank you. I don't want the 3,000. This is a different lady, but I don't want 2,000 or 3,000, whatever the money was. A lot of money back then. I don't need it. Thank you. And then next thing you know, the lady gets hit with a bunch of fines or something and winds up that much in debt. It was like a karma thing. That's how she described it. And I'm like, yeah, you should take your blessings when they come. And I'm very guilty of that too. Means I can edit more Mystic Manifesting content. There we go, my man. I've got a couple ideas for some cool videos too. So we'll be working together and close manifesting and other stuff. So, I mean, hey, who knows? If my shit ends up where I got a lot of time off and you got a lot of time off, fuck it, maybe I'll fly out to an undisclosed location to keep your anonymity, but fly out and film some content, edit some content, and make some more stuff. Invest the money I have saved into that, invest into myself and into the business and into you guys. I think Florence is better for love and Joseph Murphy's better for money, and Neville's OG. Yeah, Neville had both. Florence did focus. She had a lot of SP success stories in her book, but she had a lot of money ones. Joseph Murphy is a heavy money one. Reverend Ike is a big money guy. Florence does say the one thing I will disagree with a little bit with her, it would be like, go with your divine match. Now, I'm not saying that your divine match is better than your SP or your SP is not your divine match, but she was more open to, I wouldn't call her law of attraction, but in that realm, it was like, I would like my divine match instead. I agree with Mama Dealer, Joseph Murphy first. And the health, yeah, true. Joseph Murphy does do a lot of health ones as well, Gary. I love Reverend Ike. I love Reverend Ike too. I love watching his videos, and like, there's a couple guys. I think his name is Dom P. He's on Instagram and TikTok. He makes a bunch of great Reverend Ike edits with little, like, he puts a beat in the background and stuff. It's pretty cool. Look at, I didn't even plan that. Yeah, there. I don't know why my camera's like inverted. Yeah. But the crown goes over. And look at this nice decoration. The world is yours. Because you need people like me to say, point your finger and say, that's the bad guy. You're old enough to remember when Reverend Ike was on TV? Well, I think Reverend Ike died in 2014, I think, but I didn't find out about him until a few years later in here. I mean, obviously, I didn't know about him in 2014 either. I was 17 in 2014. So, yeah, he could have been on TV when I was a kid, too. I just don't remember it. I know the big one was like Joel Osteen, but I never really watched Joel Osteen. He had a weekly show in the 70s. Oh, so that's where all those videos online are coming from, then, his TV show. I know that there's a Neville TV show that was out but never got released. I always thought that would have been cool to see, but they said through some of my research in Neville that like all his videos went up in smoke in some warehouse fire, along with all the other audios and lectures he had. That's why there's only those few on Apple Music. But it's kind of like a personal mission of mine. I would like to find out more about him, and every now and then I go and do some deep dives into Neville and the Reddit forums and stuff like that to see if anyone knows anything else about his personal life. That's why I would like to interview that guy Lindell Warden to ask questions about Neville. So if anyone knows Lindell, he's on Coach DeCarlo's channel, and you could set that up. That'd be awesome. I wouldn't mind interviewing both of them or doing a collab with both of them. Let's see, what is all this going on? So we're down to the final 10. Does anyone got anything we want to go over? Any thoughts for the week? We'll have some nice positive conclusions going into this. What we're going to work on, I'm going to try to get some videos out tomorrow night, because tomorrow I will not, and you will not. None of us are going to be fazed by tomorrow's events. Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. We see the good and the beauty in each one of them. We don't look for the bad. We look for the good. We are not going to be shaken by whatever happens tomorrow. So no matter how my day pans out, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to make content and possibly go live on TikTok. And if I do, I'm going to send it to you guys. I have 2 TikToks. One's more fitness related with manifesting. The other one's more manifesting with a dash of fitness. Both the same. It's me. But one of them, I do plan to do a little bit of a vlog where I can show you like a day in the life. Like maybe I'm lazy as fuck waking up. SP's a little bit better waking up early than me. So just like Rich Piano's girlfriend used to film for him, she could put the camera on me and be like, wake up. And you see from the time I wake up and the techniques I'm doing, I know in the past there have been ladies in my life where they would see me. I remember one girl laughing because she knew I was the mystic. I was like this. I was sleeping with my hands in the mudra like that. Meditating, going through my affirmations, going through my techniques and things like that. And just starting my day, and she was laughing. I'm like, I'm just laying there. I'm like, I know she knows that I'm doing my meditation, so you're going to be able to see all that stuff. I'm trying to vlog all this stuff a little bit more. A day in the life of the mystic, as Rich Brianna would say, God damn it. So I thought that would be something nice. So I've got plans for this. It's taking me some time to do a lot of this stuff, but I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to quit on this. I might disappear for a bit, but I won't be gone. As they say, YouTube needs a mystic. As a man, I could be destroyed, but as an idea, I don't know. I don't know the rest of the line, but it's like Batman. Gary, clip that. We can clip that and put it over me hitting the heavy back. As a man, I could be destroyed, but as an idea, as a mystic, I could be incorruptible, unstoppable. Looking forward to seeing more of your content. I'm going back to robotic affirming. It seems to work for me. Perfect. Yeah, there's no wrong way to do any of it. I like robotic affirming too. And you guys know I'm not really an affirmation guy, but robotic affirming killed it for me on a couple of manifestations. Killed it in a good way. Oliver's locked out. The ghost locked him out. He must have just slipped out the door right before it got slammed shut. You know what's funny too? I wanted a mystic mascot. And all of a sudden, big boy over there shows up. And the cat that I got for SP, they're both black cats. We should bring him on for a collab. He's an old man. The one I got for SP is 4, which apparently is young for cats. That's what I learned with him. Because this cat's been around since I was, what, if he's 20? No, if he's 19. Cat's been around since I was 8 years old. Looking for, so weird robotic affirming question. What's the weird question? There's no weird questions, no wrong answers. Does anybody else do robotic affirming while watching TV, reading, doing other stuff? Well, I will say this on myself. Don't watch much TV. Lately, I've been watching more TV, but I haven't really watched, in the past 3 years, I didn't watch much TV. I love movies and TV and stuff like that, but I haven't watched as much as I would have liked because I've gone more into my mind in those times. Reading, I'm not going to lie to you. I read, but I read with SP's very interested in the Bible. And I will say this too, if it's something you get a chance to do, I'm not forcing it on nobody because I don't belong to no church or nothing. I just think it's a very great, like Neville said, it's a very great manifesting book. And I've been reading that with her on the weekends and we read it out loud. And I'm like, I feel like the dumb kid in class when you call on them, but we read that. And I've been reading Neville to her. So reading, I don't do as much. And doing other stuff for sure, though, like working out, going to work, all those other things. My affirmations pop up. My affirmations come up in my dreams too. I will robotically affirm in my dreams without me knowing, but then I'll wake up in the dream and realize what I'm doing and just continue it. Mark, what's up, brother? Well, unfortunately, I tried to give you a heads up because I remembered your comment from a couple weeks ago. I tried to give you a little heads up. I'm on for 5 more minutes, but it's going to be up here so you can rewatch what we posted. But you did get to technically be in the live, but I'm going to be doing more. That's my plan. I'm slow typing long nails. I'm doing it now while my parrot app is playing. There you go, Mitzi. Mudras have been powerful for me. Hand positions. I think one I was doing unlocked a series of manifestation. People should look into mudras. Yeah, I haven't done a ton of research into them. I'm not gonna lie, some people won't like this. Where I first seen mudras and heard of them was from Andrew Tate. So like when you're watching all the TV shit or TikToks where Tate was being arrested, him and his brother were doing this one. It's the one I like. It's like it looks like when people are like, "Oh, you're a pussy." What? It's like that, and you're walking like that. They're getting arrested doing that. That one's supposed to calm anxiety and stuff like that. And if you're like me and a very anxious person naturally, that one I found to be helpful. Then this one, and like, I don't know why. My brother does that one. He's not even into manifesting like me. He's good at it, but tried to talk with it and got smoke in my nose. But he had done that one. I'm like, that one looks so stupid and uncomfortable. I've been doing that one too. That one somehow puts me in a deeper meditation. But each one supposedly has a meaning. And I think it's just whatever's comfortable for you and whatever meaning you assign to it, just like anything else with manifesting and things like that. Only with music or nothing. I don't robotically affirm with people talking. I can robotically affirm playing video games, however. That'd be good. I get too frustrated with games to do that. I haven't played a video game in so long. The Indiana Jones one's coming out, though, and I'm thinking to get it. Maybe get a PS5 and watch Mystic Streams, and I'll do manifesting lessons while playing Indiana Jones. And I probably won't finish this on the live stream because we got 3 minutes left, everyone, and then I'm going to do my session. But with the final 3 minutes, I will start concluding this. I'm back, better than ever. We don't know what tomorrow holds, but we know that it's only going to work out in our favor. None of you are fucking this up, and you can't fuck it up. If you think you're fucking it up, rethink your life because you ain't fucking it up. You got this. I believe in you. I love you guys. We're going to go live again for sure next Monday. And, you know, with this possible schedule change, like I said, if it doesn't happen, for sure we're going to stay on Mondays. If not, I'm probably going to walk. That's what I'm thinking. And go full time into this. Walk in faith. What kind of teacher am I going to be if I'm not walking in faith? And then we'll go from there. As you can see, there's still resistance and fear in me. You guys have seen it before. You watched it on the live with SP. You saw my self-concept waver. And I'm not going to lie, my self-concept's kind of like this table right now. But it's that trusting, that knowing you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be fully secured or focused or whatever for things to be working out in your favor. Because they always are. Change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. So as always, I love you guys. I believe in you guys. I'll see you next Monday. I'll put up a notification if I'm going live on TikTok, or maybe I'll try to hit them both at the same time, bridge the two audiences, because at least you guys drive the chat here. TikTok doesn't really drive it. And I know all you guys a lot better than I do on TikTok, unless you just want to go to TikTok and you have similar usernames. So that way I can remember. But with that, you have a great day as well, Mitzi. Everyone who's been struggling, keep your head up. It's not over. It's not over till it's over, and it's never over because you always win. So with that, love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.